has been popping off. He's been popping off, and Korea said no. No more pop-offs. You popped off in Israel, you popped off in Japan, but here, we are not accepting this one bit. Now, this guy was originally about to face 7 years, then 14 years, then 28 years, and now he's facing 31-year additional in Korean prison. And if you don't know, Korean justice system tend to put people in place 99% of the time. So let's take a look on the update on Johnny Somali. My God, the biggest and most annoying streamer out there.
This IRL streamer is now in more hot water after a clip resurfaced of him going into a subway and broadcasting an announcement that he had a bomb over and over again on a loudspeaker. Oh boy, well, it's safe to say things are getting way worse.
He's at it again.
For the streamer in Korea, who could be facing up to several decades in prison, as his antics in Korea just continue to be shown to the public, and he's also making things infinitely worse for himself by continuing to disrespect the country and just laugh at the entire situation. It's safe to say the dude is about to find out, because as I've stated in my previous videos on him, he is his own worst enemy, as he live streams himself committing dozens of crimes for content. So
that's the funniest thing about this guy. He's going live and committing crimes. He's creating evidence live. And he's still being sentenced for all of these years, and he keeps on popping up. There's nothing stopping him.
All the victims have to do is recognize themselves and file charges with the footage that he filmed. And all the prosecutors have to do is count the felonies and bring them to a judge. But for some reason, he thinks he's about to get out of this. I guess he's just assuming the same thing that happened in Japan is going to happen now. And for those of you guys who don't know, this guy, he's essentially the most hated IRL streamer because his whole content style is harassing random people in public, and I guess just seeing how much he can get away with. Then when he's confronted,
he's an absolute animal.
Puts on this act like, oh, I did nothing wrong, and he has no idea why people are calling the police on him. He did this in Japan for a long period of time, but ended up getting arrested and spent roughly 3 months in jail for this. And at the end of the day, they let him go, as he apologized and lied in court. But later on, he deleted that apology, took it all back, and then bragged about lying in court. Then I guess he went to Israel, continued the same style of content, was detained by the police, and beat up by civilians multiple times.
Look at this fucking guy, man. Just look at him. Bro. You need 2 Israeli policemen to carry you the fuck out. Man, this guy never gets it.
Multiple times before fleeing the country with an emergency passport, as his main American passport was allegedly taken away from him. This is an important detail now, as since he's gone to Korea and continued the same antics, but way worse. And that led him to being travel banned, but that hasn't stopped him from continuing to taunt the public and flex that he has this emergency passport, even though he can't go anywhere with it. As the Korean government, they've taken away his main passport and he's been banned from leaving the country.
Like, he thinks that just because he has the password, once he goes through the security and they go on the checkup, that they're not going to check his identity or check that if there's anything in the database not allowing him to travel. He thinks that the password is a 1 key away. It's so weird.
Which leaves us.
Also, he had like a funny thing he didn't disclose. He discussed with his geniuses on his own Discord server, and they thought to themselves, what about we just flee the country by driving up to the region that is closest to us, to the country, that the border that is closest to us, without thinking for a second that South Korea is in South Korea, and you gotta go through North Korea to get to the other country.
With another,
I wonder how that would go. I would love to see him go and do a stream in North Korea.
Very popular question. Why is he not arrested? Well, he's been booked and released until trial and travel banned until the verdict. Now, apparently the reasons they're doing it this way is because they don't want to house him. Like, they've removed his passport, so he isn't really a flight risk. Essentially, they want to put the burden on him to provide for himself, because now he's forced to pay for himself to stay there until the trial is finished, alongside of paying to defend himself. This will likely cost him way more than he earned during his entire trip to Korea to begin with. Then on top of that, more platforms have now banned him, so he doesn't really have that many options left. As of now, he has like Rumble, TikTok, and Instagram. And all of this is happening after he previously took a 4-month break. And as he even admits, he can't afford to not stream.
I'm trying to do more daytime streams. I'm trying to be more consistent, guys. I want to stream at least 5-6 days a week. Like, I cannot take no breaks. After taking a 4-month break, I do not have no time to take any breaks. I hope this trip ends up good. It's been a success so far.
So being banned on both
He thinks that has been successful?
Kick, Twitch, and YouTube is a massive financial hit for him, but he has nobody to blame but himself. The clip that we just saw, though, is from his 5th day streaming in Korea, and a lot of his new problems come from this day. After he was indicted, people started to go through his past streams in Korea to help the prosecutors build the strongest case possible. And Johnny tried to scrub all the evidence of this, but you know, since he live streams everything, there's people who just record and repost all of his antics. So the first incident that we're going to look at is him in the subway, as you know from the intro. First, he couldn't figure out how to buy a ticket, so he then films and pressures a kid to do it for him.
Okay, I'm putting the money in. I cannot figure this out for the life of me, bro. Hey, look, can you not do this? Can you put this in there for me? Look,
Come on, dude.
put it on the side. Put it in there. Yes. Get to work.
Dude.
What a weirdo.
If you know how to translate this, can you help me? Put it inside. My 5,001. Put it in my card. Yes. Put it inside. I don't read Korean.
Why is that his problem? Like, why are you putting this
Why why the fuck does this kid care? Like, it's not his issue. Like, who gives a fuck?
onto a kid?
If it was me, I would just take it and just walk away and be like, see ya. Is that a lot of money?
I don't want to traumatize this little. I'll do it myself.
Like, what are you doing? That kid did not consent to being bullied into helping you for your own content. Nobody wants to see their kid
I bet the kid doesn't barely understands even what he's saying.
being talked to like that, especially when the kid is just trying to help. But after
Yeah.
fumbling with the machine for about 5 minutes, he makes his way to the subway where he starts to, you know, do his usual, harass people for content. And here you have these back-to-back text-to-speech donations with some of the most disrespectful stuff you can imagine. Bomb threats, praising North Korea, loud moaning sounds, and all of this on public transportation when clearly there's kids around. So how does he respond to essentially allowing himself to be this like harassment proxy for his toxic audience?
I bet he's responding in a very well-mannered, civilized way. And he seems very grateful for being there and feels really bad about this. I bet that's the case, right?
Well, he dances around and has fun with it. He's shocked that nobody's giving him any pushback, and then he thanks his audience for supporting him with these disrespectful text-to-speech donations.
Oh,
You can't see it in my eyes, but I'm gonna need some of this.
there's like a fucking old lady there. Come on, man.
I don't think they're pressing me because I look like them. No, not even one person is pressing me. Maybe because I look like them. I'm blending in. Thank you guys for all the support, guys. I love you guys.
Now, obviously, you can give him the benefit of the doubt and say, he doesn't understand Korean or what they're donating. But it's clear he endorses this, and he'll happily be paid to use as a medium for random people on the internet to harass strangers. Because let's be real, if there was actually any fear of what was being said on his text-to-speech, if he didn't understand it, he would just turn off the speaker.
I don't know what's going on.
Bro, they're all like old tired workers. They're probably all going home. And then they see this fucking jackass tourist playing loud ass music on the tub. Like, come on, man.
Guys, he's preaching. He's cold. Oh my, this is terrorism.
They probably are shocked and don't even know what the hell to say. This is so ridiculous.
This is now terrorism. Now this is terrorism, guys.
So there he's claiming he's committing terrorism. So that's interesting and
I
can
saw
also
music, Addy. What was that then?
I don't know what's going on, guys. He's preaching. He's cold. Oh my, this is terrorism. This is now terrorism. Now this is terrorism, guys.
So there he's
I have no idea what the hell that is. I don't know what that is.
claiming he's committing terrorism. So that
Wait, is that Islamic, like, is that like prayers?
That's interesting and can also likely be used against him in court. And then to add to that, you have this whole clip which happened where he walked around blasting, "I have a bomb."
It sounds so fucked up. The noise is so fucked up, like the sound, that I'm not really sure. It's not? What is it? Like, is this some kind of prayers, like religious prayers or something?
Have a bomb on his speaker.
나에겐 폭탄이 있다.
Oh my god.
나에겐 폭탄이 있다.
Sorry.
나에겐 폭탄이 있다. 나에겐
I have a bomb on repeat.
폭탄이 있다. 나에겐 폭탄이 있다. 나에겐 폭탄이 있다. 나에겐
I know, sir.
폭탄이 있다.
Sorry.
나에겐 폭탄이 있다.
I'm sorry.
나에겐 폭탄이
We got.
있다.
Oh, what does it even say?
Some
Oh,
weird
I don't
Richard
know.
noises.
나에겐 폭탄이 있다.
Guys, there's kids right here,
나에겐
bro.
폭탄이 있다.
Let's just go. Sorry, brother. Oh, Oda Nobunaga. No, Oda Nobunaga. No.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Everyone's looking at me.
Is that the national anthem of North Korea?
Dude. But the cops then show up, so he starts blaming some random people for snitching.
You called them? You? I think it's that guy that snitched.
You
But after being kicked off of the subway by
those
the police,
poor
he then
people,
claimed-
bro, I don't understand. Like, I don't know, like I'm just telling you, man. I feel like in some other place in the world, imagine doing this in New York City. Think people would be happy about that?
he's uncancelable.
Somalis can never get canceled. Never, bro. And honestly, the only way I can be canceled is if I cancel myself. The one thing I got to think about, if I want to piss off Moist Critical, if I want to piss off Atozy, if I want to piss off Decoy Voice, and all these that made hundreds of thousands about talking to me on YouTube, the only thing I need to do is keep streaming. That's all I need to keep streaming. Like, just keep streaming and get rich and get super rich, and just that's gonna piss everybody off.
You're not gonna get rich by getting these $5 donations. You're living barely by streaming 6 days a week. You probably could make more money being like throwing trash, and that's even in this day, like it's a very well respected, and in many you're stuck throwing trash. Like people would think this all being a trash man so bad, that it's actually really a well respected and a very well paid job. So you could literally get way more money, work way less by being a trash man than creating the trash you're producing online.
That's how you win over these normies and SJWs.
Normies,
like, in Hasanabi.
This aged so poorly because he's now been banned on all major streaming platforms since he said this.
And the thing is that that's the resolution that will happen, is that you'll be banned and reality will start facing in, and you'll be charged with actual, like, either big fines that you cannot pay yourself, or you will end up in prison. I don't know what you're gonna do. You would do better by starting up a company or some bullshit than this.
And on top of this, he's clearly not worried about the online backlash, because something he should be worried about are the laws of the countries he streams in. Because let's face it, the most likely thing to cancel his streaming career are his own actions that'll likely land him behind bars. And also, speaking of his political comment here, I feel like Johnny has united everyone in the world from all backgrounds and political beliefs to agree on one thing. We all despise the kind of content he makes. And I think it's a massive net negative.
It's annoying. I think that once you're starting like harassing people that are just living their day to day, once you start including someone else that has nothing to do with this and start to make their day worse, that's when everybody can socially agree upon that this is an asshat move. Like, I remember when that prankster in like some shopping mall in the US got shot because he kept harassing this kid that had a gun. Like, he didn't know he had a gun, but he kept harassing him, and the kid was like, please leave me alone, don't touch me. He kept on like touching him and keeping going on him for quite a while, so he shot him. I think everybody agreed that that was a W move from the kid, because this guy was constantly literally assaulting him, because touching someone like that is written as an assault. So he just self-defend himself. You don't know what the guy's gonna do. I mean, it's the same kind of thing here. Like, you're seeing all these innocent people just want to live their damn day life, and this jackass is here causing all these issues.
to society, because I feel
The kid wasn't charged for shooting the guy, only charged for shooting a firearm in a wall. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense because you're shooting a firearm in a mall. It could hurt someone else, but he didn't get charged for shooting the guy because he was defending himself, because he touched him. Like, he touched him. So if he touched him, he kept on being on his face. Even it's recorded. I said, please leave me alone. Don't touch me. And he kept on doing it. So that's completely fine.
like everyone wants to be able to live in a society
Yeah.
without the risk of being harassed in public for someone's live stream content. So
Totally.
the more you point and laugh at these fools who do this for internet attention, the better. But alongside of the pointing and laughing and legal ramifications he's facing, he's also now facing threats from people that are being aired on a national Korean TV station.
Don't come back to America, Mr. Somali.
Hey, Somali, just know wherever you go, if there are Korean people,
Okay, so he's getting threats from Americans now?
we're not to be with. You us in LA, we go on the roofs and literally snipe you, mother.
YouTube personality Johnny Somali, who's been making headlines ever since making a nuisance of himself in South Korea, seems to have a new target on his back. Not by any
What's the crime rates in Korea? I'm very surprised he's still alive. I'll be real with you. I'm just shocked.
angry Koreans, but by Korean Americans who even claim to have gang affiliations. For those out of the loop, the streamer was recently indicted by South Korean authorities for his offensive commotions.
That is such a bad clip.
In a video that's now
Horrible.
circulating online, a Korean-American man sent out a threatening message to Somali, warning him to refrain from returning to the United States.
But you just pissed off a lot of the wrong people. Don't come back to
Ooh.
America, Mr. Somali, as the price that you need to pay for playing stupid games.
Earlier last week, Somali talked with American streamer Caldo during a live stream where he shared his plan to return home.
I think my next destination you asked is America, bro, because I'm tired of dealing with these foreign governments and these foreign laws.
Yeah, man.
If I stream in America, I don't have to deal with it. I'll keep it strong, bro. I'm not going to give up. I'm not going to quit. I don't think I'll go to
I love his face. Because we all know that if he goes to America and acts like a dumbass like this, he will not end up on the good end of the stick.
jail. I think if I don't go to jail, it's going to be a big win, and then I can laugh on all these creators on Rumble.
Notice how I said Rumble, as he doesn't have any of the main platforms left. But yeah, that would be interesting to see him stream like he's doing now in the US. So that'll be interesting to see how long that lasts. And that is if he gets out of Korean jail in a short enough time to where he can get to the US and still have a relevant streaming career.
It's
Yeah.
not known yet how the Korean authorities will deal with Somali's case. And while he seems confident he'll avoid doing any jail time, he should be less sure about being welcomed back in America, as many Americans, both of Korean descent and regular people, have expressed their embarrassment as well as anger towards the YouTuber who's been making an American look pretty bad in places like Israel, Japan, and Thailand.
Yeah, I feel like the general consensus here in the US is like, hey, Korea, just keep him over there.
We don't want him.
Take one for the team. Just have him over there, please.
Comments on YouTube videos about Somali's antics in Korea from fellow Americans state they don't wish to see him back. One commented, "American here."
Yeah, no, exactly. That is straight up
Keep him in custody.
the
for as
general
long as
consensus
you like.
here.
While another wrote, "U.S. Marine here. America doesn't want his ass back."
And on top of that, Legal Mindset, who we had here on the channel last week, he broke that a bunch more charges have been filed against Johnny.
I
Ooh.
contacted some folks, and apparently some Korean YouTubers have pressed additional charges. So these have already been filed against him. Apparently blackmail, which is up to 10 years in prison. The ones in the green have already been filed. So, and these are not ones by Bong or someone else. These are by Korean YouTubers who have said they're not dropping them. They're not dropping them. So you've got blackmail, insults, you've got deep fakes, and not Bong's deep fakes, other people's deep fakes. Those have all been filed. So the green are all new charges that have been filed.
So you're telling me this is extra from the 27 years we already looked at. So that means blackmailing up to 10 years, up to 1 year, insults, deepfakes 5 or more years. These are extra things from the other deepfakes, other insult, other scenarios. So these are extra from the 27. That's nuts. I think that if Korea doesn't send him to prison, I think that would be I think that will be honestly awful for Korea. I think that they have to set an example of him. They have to, because if they let him, as long as he's been going, as many charges have been sent to him, if he does not face any prison time, I think this will open a gate that this is allowed in Korea, and you will see more of these type of streamers and type of tourists enter Korea.
And then beyond that, the yellow is stuff that's going to be filed this week. Sexual threats to children up to 3 years, because he was playing sexual stuff around children, including, by the way, literally, this is disgusting. He was playing threats to sexually assault children live on his text to speech, right? So that's going to go down.
What the
Business
fuck?
obstruction, right? Another charge, right? Supporting the DPRK, which is, once again, I showed you the video before. And as well, he's done this in multiple instances. That's up to 7 years. And public indecency with another year.
So if all those get filed, I mean, he's potentially facing an additional 31 years in Korean prison. Now, obviously, they're not going to throw the maximum sentence at him. Legal Mindset does go on to say that he thinks that, like, realistically, we're looking at anything from 1 to 10 years for Johnny for this. But the next question I have is, will all this get thrown into the same case, or will this be separate, which then continues to prolong his stay in Korea? Because let's say he just somehow manages to get out of this first case, but then he has all of these extra charges to worry about. But
I think that usually how these things tend to go, I believe that he will probably, I hope that he gets sentenced once, and during the time he's in prison, he still has to go to the court cases for his separate sentences, and they will add additionally or remove. So he'll just have to follow up as he's there. But I think that the best sorts of action is to hurry up at least one of them and put him down in prison, and then take it as it goes as long as you have him, because I don't like he's causing, I don't know, like it feels to me like Korea is letting him be there for a bit to see if he can make more charges, so if they can do anything more to him.
Johnny apparently isn't even that worried, because he's now posting on Instagram saying, "I'm gonna laugh like a maniac when I beat this case like OJ." Okay, bud.
Oh, damn.
So I guess only time will tell to see if that happens.
What a good comparison to be compared to OJ Simpson.
As many of you guys know, I started a mat company called Mat City to bring the nostalgic toy car mats to a city near you, alongside of mouse mats. So we've now dropped way more cities and collections, and we're now doing a 20% off site-wide sale for Mat City for an extended Black Friday and Cyber Monday sale. So now is the perfect time to grab something for yourself or a Christmas present for a loved one, and that would really be supporting out the channel if you decide to do so. But either way, thank you guys for your time, and if you're new here, feel free to subscribe, or I might not see you again, but hopefully I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.
Those are great for kids. Yeah, I don't know, I feel like there would be a big issue if Korea doesn't charge him anytime soon. Personally, I feel like Korea is just going to turn into a playground, and it's just going to make it worse for the citizens if they don't do anything anytime soon. But yeah, we'll have to see. We'll do a follow-up whenever there's more information to come out. Sub to the channel if you enjoyed this reaction. If you like this video, make sure to like it. And come by my Twitch channel on twitch.tv/Adley if you want to yap with me in live. I appreciate y'all watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace. Have a good one. Bye.